Hello! Rings of Power is the gift that no one wanted, but it keeps giving. They've announced casting for Season 2, and I have theories, and also recasting. So, long story short, one actor has already walked away. There's talks at this point. There's rumours flying around that stuff is happening behind the scenes. It seems a very odd move. And, just to add insult to injury, after trying to replicate the Fellowship of the Ring in Season 1, I get the feeling they're going to replicate, or attempt to replicate, the Two Towers. So how much Tolkien stuff are they going to mess up this time? I mean, at this point, the announcements of the cast are, what we know of it, is original characters. I think one's going to be a canon character, but again, this information at this point is sketchy. And leaks and rumours don't bode well, although most have been 99% correct, so that's always funny. I just feel like they're going to go down this route of this big multicast, everyone on their own adventure, but they're going to do it more Game of Thrones style, because they are replicating Game of Thrones at this point, and I know that's a controversial statement, but just the style of this is replicating Game of Thrones in many ways, and I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to have lots of little groups of characters on their own quests that might not be interlinked and might be interlinked. I mean, they've already changed the history of Middle-earth to the point that the Lord of the Rings can't happen, but that's neither here nor there at this point. And contrary to what people say, I would be saying exactly the same stuff about this show if it was a completely original, generic fantasy television show. I kind of put it up there on the same level as the Chronicles of Shannara. That was a bad television show. This is that equal level of bad, cheesy writing, and the writing of the show has a very CW style to it, which is not a compliment at all. And we all know what's happening with the CW right now. Season 2 of Rings of Power looks like they're not premiering the episodes until, at this point, either the end of the year or the start of 24. Again, we cannot be 100% sure at this point because, again, leaks, rumours, and information is sparse. But I just have this really bad feeling I know what they're going to do. And they're going to shoehorn in a bunch of original characters that have no relationship to Tolkien's work to fill the void of the characters they don't have the rights to. The rumour is they've already shot portions of Season 2 in New Zealand before they moved production here, and that's caused a bit of a messy situation as well. So, God knows at this point. Now, other rumours flying around, and this is a thing. They're going to cast Galadriel's husband, and I have a really bad feeling they're going to do a Rings of Power love triangle between her husband and Sauron. I'm just picturing this. We just need one of them to sparkle in the sunlight and the other one to turn into a big furry wolf. And we can have Galadriel, cooing over them. But she's already the embodiment of toxic feminism and more a self-insert for one of the people behind the show than actual Galadriel of the Tolkien's work and the Galadriel of the Second Age. Also, where is her daughter at this point? Just putting that one into the mix. Where is her daughter? Where are her children? Oh, God. One of the most important characters in the history of fantasy, especially female characters, reduced to an angry woman with a sword. Dear God. But I knew this would be a disaster. I think with the recasting of one of the only good actors in the show, that's a red flag. I think the way he's left, and he put this statement on Twitter that, I'm so honoured to explore the Tolkien's Middle-earth. You didn't explore Tolkien's Middle-earth in the slightest. Also, why are they buying the jewelry off of Wish? But what they've done here is I feel like the people behind the show are panicking. Everything's in freefall. The show hasn't been the hit that they thought it would be. Critically, it's been not particularly well received now, and the fact that the Amazon checks started to bounce has been funny and True Opinions, although that guy from that critic that was all over the first 2 episodes, really slashed into the show, but, you know, the minute he wasn't paid by Amazon, the truth came out, I suppose. I just feel like this is a desperate measure to save a sinking ship, and that's me being really honest. This is all my opinion. I feel like they're desperately trying to save it. They're desperately trying to replicate the success of the early Game of Thrones seasons, and they're going to try and replicate more of the Peter Jackson movies than they did already. I wonder if they'll quote another Cate Blanchett movie. The Elizabeth quote was funny, but, and I say this with complete honesty, this show can't fail for them. I get the feeling there's going to be budget cuts. I get the feeling there's going to be a lot of stuff that changes behind the scenes, and rumours that the showrunners are going to be discreetly pushed away is also going to be interesting as well. But at the moment, this just feels like they're desperately trying to save the ship. And contrary to what that wonderful person on Twitter said, I love the fact he's like, you make loads of money and you manipulate your audience to make money out of them. No, I've never have done, never will, because YouTube and money are, unless you've got like 20 million subscribers and your videos are getting thousands upon thousands of views each week, you aren't making money. I'm just going to say that. You couldn't live off YouTube ad rates. Even larger channels are struggling in that sense. You have to be like top tier to make anything close to living money on this thing. And I find it funny that's the only insult that he can get. But he also called my audience idiots. And I disagree with that statement 110%. I have the most amazing conversations. And I really am appreciative of all your comments, and and stuff that you guys bring up is amazing. But the guy has, the Elrond from the Rings of Power as his profile pic. You know, Princess Dye hair and everything. I mean, the Vulcan High Council will be proud. But also, the fact that I now know who this guy is funny as hell. And I can't say who he is because that's doxing. But please keep up the good work. The Discords are lighting up with your stuff. It's funny. And now we all know who you are, which is even funnier. Oh God, I know I'm rambling, but I'm watching Amazon right now just desperately try and save this horrible sinking ship, and they're desperately clinging onto it, and I get the feeling this is literally going to lift the story beats from elements of Game of Thrones and the Two Towers. And I also have a really bad feeling they're going to make Galadriel responsible for more of the rings, which isn't true. She was never responsible for the rings. And also the fact they flipped her character so much that, you know, she didn't trust Sauron in that form. She didn't trust him in that form in the Second Age. She was the only one that didn't. But they flipped it on its head now, and it's fascinating to witness. I wonder if they will fix the sense of time in the show, though. Like, there is no sense of time. And that's really jarring in storytelling if there's no sense of time, but I don't think they'll do that. I think what they're going to do is double down on what they've already done. And they're just going to have Galadriel saving everyone, she's right, shouting at people, and then everyone else pushed aside so she can save the day. And that's all they're going to do. This is a monstrosity, but watching them try and save a sinking ship with actors with almost no real credits behind them, and I get casting unknowns, I will say that, but when your most well-known person in your entire series is Lenny Henry, of all bloody people, Mr. Dawn French. Now, she's funny. She's brilliant. She's a great writer. I mean, but Lenny Henry, it's just, it's like watching a car crash in slow motion at this point, and I know this is ranty and rambly, but I'm just taking it all in, and I'm watching all of this stuff play out in real time, and it's so bizarre. I don't see them fixing the problems. they're talking about a more lore-accurate Season 2, but how the hell they're going to do that is just... I have no clue, because they've already broken so much. If they wanted the political, social style fantasy of Game of Thrones, maybe they should have told the story of Numenor rather than the origin of the ring. Maybe they should have done the Fall of Numenor as a series. They actually have the full rights to that as well. But that's neither here nor there at this point. I think they would have screwed it up, whatever happened. This show desperately needs Peter Jackson. It desperately needs the Tolkien people involved again. It desperately needs Tom Shippey. It desperately needs the people that actually know Tolkien, rather than crafting an original story that's more based on creative narcissism than the work. So, yeah. Tell me what you think in the comments, as always. I now offer memberships on this channel, and I'm keeping the tiers as low as possible, really. Once those numbers go up, there's going to be a lot of exclusive content. That's the plan. So if you guys want to do that, you're more than welcome. I also have Patreon. And all of my social media links are down below. So tell me what you think, and I will talk to you guys later.